Warm up. Ready for the stream. Probably do is just boot into the actual game itself so we get a decent amount of actual background audio. Okay, there's at least a little bit more background music if we hang out here. Good. Have a little chill while we give people a minute to arrive. Have a little sip of drink. How's everyone doing today? Okay, I think we're like right at the end of this for now. I think literally all we hadn't done was said goodnight to Dad, and I think there might have been a cutscene with the exes having opinions. I don't know if saved. Hey, Norm K. How you doing? Double check. I'm pretty sure we saw the end of this on
I can see
stream the
you're
other
not in the
night.
mood for talking. Maybe a nice documentary about the
Oh,
Cold
maybe
War.
we didn't do this. I don't remember Dad talking about a nice Cold War documentary. Wait for my cough to shift slightly and check that everything else has gone live correctly. Now we can pull the stream up. Oh yeah, the stream is working for sure.
Ugh, Dad. Fine, but next time, I pick.
Yeah, I think we're right on the cusp of presumably, yeah, chapter 4. Yes, this is where we're going into stuff I haven't yet seen of this game. And we did that pretty perfectly. The first stream of this game was almost exactly the stuff I saw off stream. Chapter 4. He just has resting murder face. Made beautiful music with Dia. No, that's not a metaphor. Meanwhile, Jala and Tyler continue their investigation into Barefoot Park. It's strictly business. They're definitely not dating. Yes, so I think this is the ex that Dia mentioned, who we were seeing behind Tyler's back, and Dia, like, outed that whole relationship fucking over this ex, because she was jealous because our parents weren't homophobic. I think that was the deal. Or something to that effect. Oh, we do have new recipes.
Talk to Dad. Come on. You can't pretend with me. I know you want to. You kept us up all last night thinking about it. What are you? Chicken?
I know you are, but what am I?
What did you want to talk to Dad about? I do
That
not
was
remember.
Weak even when you were 5. I actually feel bad for you right now. Dia got to you yesterday, so stop sulking about it and go talk to Dad already. You could use cooking as an excuse to have a conversation.
Okay, so if we cook egg hoppers, that's going to be the thing that lets us have a conversation with Dad. Okay. Do we have new recipes we haven't done? We've got, I think it's just the kotu roti we haven't done before, and the egg hopper. Cool.
Not that I'm not delighted. My little firecracker wants to cook egg hoppers with me all of a sudden. But why do I sense that you're hungry for something else this morning?
What, me? Nah.
Can a girl crave egg hoppers without being subjected to an inquisition? Let me live, Dad.
I'm still firmly in cough that doesn't want to go away territory, but other than that, I'm feeling much better than I was even on Monday's stream. I've been well enough that I got my very lengthy PS5 access controller review written and recorded, now ready for going up early next week, which is a big review, I can say that much.
I think you may have overcorrected just a smidge.
As far as I'm concerned, craving egg hoppers is the human condition.
Huh. You got away with it. Dad's really not on the ball this morning.
The dad in this is so charmingly written
Or
and
he's
acted.
just pretending to be oblivious.
You know what to do first.
Super dramatically wash our hands, of course. Always the first move.
Fine. The first step is to proof the yeast and mix up the ingredients in a bowl.
Darwincy says, am I the only one who doesn't like the downer beginning trope? Is that a specific trope that's happening here? Downer beginning. Is that relevant to this game? Okay, not to this game. Sorry, that was a slightly out of nowhere question. It depends. It can be a rough thing when a narrative starts really heavy for no reason out of nowhere, I guess. I don't know if we're talking about anything specific, so I could not say for a specific example.
Come on. It's eating you up inside.
Dad, did you ever wish I was straight?
Oh, this is what you want to ask Dad about. Huh.
What are you really asking, Podidua?
You acted happy when I came out. Were you happy? Were you just putting on a face?
I remember you said all the right things, but looking back, Auntie C probably coached you.
Threatened him.
Let's say instructions were conveyed with a certain emphasis. I'm glad she did, so I didn't say something stupid.
You know what? I really respect that out of Dad here. I think that it's okay to be like, I don't know how to respond to my queer kid, but I will go ask someone and I will follow the advice of the queer relative in order to not fuck up this moment that is important, even if I'm not quite where I need to be yet. I can respect that.
I won't lie, Jala. I had some complicated feelings. Fear, worry, protectiveness.
Here's the thing I will say about Jala's dad. If you had those feelings, fear, worry, protectiveness, but you handled them well enough that Jala never picked up that you felt that way, and it's only now in hindsight, because an ex brought it up, that she was like, wait, yeah, did you struggle with me coming out? You fucking nailed it. Because, like, that's the biggest thing. Don't make the fact that you as a parent are feeling... I say this from experience of having had a mother who did not hide her, oh, you came out as trans, I'm terrified someone's gonna murder you, and therefore I'm worried, was not good at hiding. I'm worried about what that means that you've come out. Yeah, if you can feel those things and keep them down enough to, like, work through them in your own time, hell yeah. Well done.
Only because this world is cruel to anyone who is different.
So, yeah, the way that, like, Jala's dad is talking here is ultimately, I think, where a lot of my mum's feelings were. She didn't handle it well, we'll be honest, but like, in hindsight, having talked about it, like, after she had time to work through her feelings, a lot of it was rooted in, you know, there was other stuff maybe, but a big part of it was, I've seen how much of the world fucked with you for being disabled, and now you're gonna paint another target on you. I'm panicking.
But those are all my feelings for me to deal with. All you need to know is your mother and I love you. We accept you. We will love who you love. Gender is irrelevant as long as they're good to you.
This is a good dad. I like this character a lot. He's very sweet.
Maybe I should be the one taking cooking lessons from you. I seem to recall it was less of a formal coming out and more that we caught you making out with Tyler in your bedroom.
That is a hell of a way to come out, as it were. God, this is reminding me of a fucking story now. I'm gonna be light on details in this telling of it. I've only had a being caught by parents with a partner story once, and the polite company version of that story is neither of us was clothed, and we thought my partner's parents were not going to be home for several hours, and they came home and opened the door, and the two of us were very visibly not wearing clothes. There was an awkward dinner at which it was said, put a fucking tie on the door or something. Yeah, not a mistake that was ever going to be remade.
Absolute cringe.
You stood up, crossed your arms, and announced, "I live with Tyler, and I don't care what you think."
You know what? I respect you, Jala, for just being direct about it. You're like, you've caught me. I'm gay. You ain't stopping it.
All I remember is Mom sitting us both down the next day and telling us about safe sex and emotional safety in relationships.
You are 15. You know, I find all that kind of thing very embarrassing. Thank God for your mom.
Look, everything I have experienced in this game, Dad tells me that you would have been a much more emotionally healthy person to have that conversation with than Mum.
Nerves of steel, that woman. Uh-oh, time to blend. Can't let it sit for too long.
Okay, blend.
In.
Me liking girls didn't feel like a big deal. I felt safe, you know? You and Mom were so supportive of Tyler when she transitioned, and you obviously accepted Auntie C.
And I think, yeah, I was wondering about like what was it that allowed Jala to come out and it not be a big deal, but B, Jala mentioned like, oh yeah, Dad, you probably got coached on it by Auntie C, and I was like, so yeah, clearly there was some queer relationships in Dad's orbit before Jala came out, and hey, here is my trans friend, and also my auntie is, best I can tell, a lesbian, definitely queer of some description, is enough for Dad presumably to have been like, you're one of them LGBTs, Auntie C, and my daughter's friends with one of them LGBTs. Can you give me like the quick sheet so I don't fuck up if there's other the LGBT stuff, because that's in my daughter's orbit? I'm like, I think that's respectful.
Actually, I didn't immediately. Chandra and I didn't talk for a few years after she told the family she was a lesbian.
Interesting.
You never told me that.
And here's the thing, I think having like the kind of narrative beat where you reveal that Dad wasn't necessarily good with Auntie C when Auntie C came out, I think it really helps that prior to this, we've learned that Dad and Auntie C very, like, not that long ago, were thick as thieves, like, breaking into the golf course to, like, drive around on the golf carts. It's like, it helps that we know that they end up, like, very, very close. You can then be like, yeah, he had a rough time of it, but he got around to it, and he wasn't gonna make the same. I think that's nice, that sort of arc of, my daughter never needed to know, and I made sure to learn enough that if it came up again, I wouldn't fuck up the way I did with Auntie C.
It's a painful memory. I'm ashamed of it. I'm just so grateful Chandra forgave me. Gave us both another chance at a relationship.
But you two adore each other. That must have been so awful.
I was ignorant and cowardly. I should have stood up for her to our parents.
Oh, so Auntie C is... I wasn't sure if Auntie C was his sister or Mum's sister. That's... I'm glad that he was able to learn from those fuck-ups in order to not fuck up his kid.
I cared too much about what society would think. It's one of my greatest regrets in life. I missed out on so much. That's why I was determined I'd never make the same mistakes with you.
I like this game's writing a lot. There's a lot to really like about how this game's written. Oh, wrong button. I was mashing it going, why is the mashing it not working? Because I was mashing Y, not X.
Chef, Jalu? What made you bring...
I saw Dia yesterday. You know her parents kicked her out, right? They don't even acknowledge
I've been
her.
swapping back and forth between Xbox and Switch button layouts this week. My brain is struggling to put back into place where X and Y are.
Do you feel sorry for her? Or admire her?
I don't know if I'd be able to pick myself up from that like she has.
Yeah, look, for any problems with Dia as a character, big respect to anyone that gets kicked out by their parents and years later their parents still ignore their existence and they just get on with life after that. It's not easy getting on with life with a damaged relationship with a parent or multiple parents, and good on anyone that gets through that.
You never know what you're capable of until you're in the situation. But this particular one, you'll never have to face. Dia's parents will regret it in the end, if they have any sense. They're the ones losing out. Oh, they really make me so angry.
Yeah, you see it. You see it sometimes with parents of queer kids when, you know, they cut off contact and then a few years later the realization sinks in of, I'm never going to have a proper relationship with my kid unless I get over this and get okay with it.
Light the stove, Jala. We'll feel better once we eat some egg hoppers, huh?
Certainly not every situation, but it's not uncommon, that experience. This isn't going away, and I'm not going to have a life that has my kid in it if I don't get through this.
You've redefined the meaning of impressive with this. Here's the secret of egg hoppers. Are you ready?
I've been preparing for this moment my entire life, Dad.
The specialized pan is integral, but more than that is the cooking.
Also, I
technique.
really like the shared act of cooking a meal as an excuse to have a conversation with a little bit of a safety barrier. Like in this case, it's like the physical activity going on and like the kitchen counter between them, but that sort of as a vehicle for opening up for conversation. I really like this as a mechanic for like interspersing gameplay into what otherwise would just be sit and watch a conversation.
It all rests on this, and I'm leaving it entirely in your hands.
I'm ready. I'm gonna make the best egg hopper you've ever had.
If it's blessed by your hands, I don't doubt it, Podidior. Add some batter to the pan and swirl it around the edges to get the distinct shape of the hopper. Once the batter just sets, crack an egg into the center of the hopper and cover the pan. The most important thing is this. Do not lift the lid before the egg is ready.
But how will I know?
You'll just know.
Okay, we're gonna do the super fry. Hitting the right button this time. Come on, there we go.
What a pro!
Huzzah! Oh, I've been playing a really interesting game today that I don't think it would be a good fit
So?
to stream, but I talk
How
about
is
it.
it?
I talk about it on Podquisition tomorrow, and I do want to like give it a nod here tonight for people who might not otherwise catch it. I've been playing a very interesting RPG. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute.
These are the best egg hoppers I have ever had.
We get through this little bit here.
Stop exaggerating, Dad.
I'm entirely serious.
Okay, lovely. Where's it going to send us to? Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Aruni, back off, Jala. I obviously don't want to talk to you. Oh, this is our sister. Just hear me out. I know you're pissed. I have too much going on with the wedding. I don't need your drama. Stop asking mom and dad about me. Stop stalking my favorite spots in town. Just leave me alone. Don't avoid me forever. I'll get in touch when I'm ready, but don't hold your breath. Okay. No, not Small Saga. So this RPG I've been playing is called In Stars and Time, and I'm maybe 9 hours into it, and I think it's something really fucking special. I'm not gonna like go into too much depth about it here. If you want to hear like some more in-depth thoughts, check out Podquisition when it goes up tomorrow. This is an RPG where you are a member of an adventuring party. You're not the protagonist. You're not the one like destined to save the world with the magical ability no one else has that's gonna save the day. You're like party member 3 out of 4. You're not even the last one. You're like somewhere in the middle of the adventure they picked you up. And you the game starts like 24 hours-ish before the end of the world. You've collected all the medallions, all the sacred stones, you've done all the dungeons if this was a Zelda game. You've made it to Ganondorf's tower, and like by the end of the day, he's going to have frozen the whole world in time and sadness spread across the world or whatever. And the short version pitch of this is you and your adventuring party are not strong enough to stop him, and you do not have enough time to get strong enough to stop him. But you, the not main character, when you die, you go back to the start of the time loop. And you are in a little time loop adventure where you're the only party member gaining experience because you're the only one remembering the fights you've had. Trying to work out how to, with this very limited window of time and like one town full of NPCs and one big dungeon to explore, how you can change the events that are unfolding enough that you can change the fact you are just woefully underprepared for the final boss. It is a fascinating game that I get into a bit more depth on in Podquisition. Like, it does a lot of really interesting stuff mechanically. If that sounds interesting to you, listen to Podquisition tomorrow where I go into more depth on it. This might be, like, one of the most interesting games I've played this year. It is super fucking fascinating. It is a lengthy-ish game with a lot of text, and I don't think it would be a good fit for streaming necessarily, but it is a game I think is really quite special. Anyway, we're going to continue with this for now. We got at least one more cooking thing to do, and then we'll see what our next adventure is. Hell's Chef in the Twitch chat says, sounds like an RPG version of Minute, but more involved. Yeah, definitely reminded me of Minute in some regards. There's a whole bunch of interesting mechanics. I like that it's a turn-based RPG that instead of having a mana system for your special attacks, they just have different lengths of cooldown. So like, hey, my healer has like basically a full heal. It's a really strong heal, but like the healer's got to take like 3 more turns before they can use that attack again. And there are things you can do to kind of circumvent that mechanic a little bit, but the way that the game, it reminded me like a little bit of Minute. It reminded me a bit of Majora's Mask and that whole having to really learn the routines of the people in this very limited space in this very limited amount of time. Having to go back deliberately to the start of the loop because you fucked something up, or you're like, okay, well the answer to, I've already missed my chance to get the thing I've just learned about. I got to restart the loop and go get that and rush over here before then, and it's real interesting. Anyway, we got one more recipe we haven't done before. We're gonna do now.
Ah, that's back. If you ever find yourself late at night and drunk with a group of friends you've just met, and you need something that hits the spot, put the roti every time.
You had a lot of wild nights in your youth, Daddy.
Oh, I could tell you some stories. But that was a long time ago. I can barely remember anything at all. Why don't we just start the recipe?
Sounds believable, Dad.
Remember that hand-washing song I used to sing?
No, and do not remind me. I'm begging you.
Here we go. Super hand wash. The most elaborate hand wash. Always the way we start these.
Fine. Chop some onion, cabbage, leeks, and jalapenos.
I'm on it.
You've redefined the meaning of impressive with this.
I bet I can guess what you got up to on your wild nights.
They were really quite tame, Potijua. Really.
You and your friends broke into a high-end exclusive museum gala dressed as waitstaff. Then, using your wits, you stole a giant jewel previously stolen from the British Empire.
Not quite, but someone should do that.
Okay, then my next guess for your mysterious nighttime activities is arson.
Speaking of, light the stove. Medium high, please.
Oh my god, it's
It does sound like Dad may have started a few fires. Go, Dad. Well done. Good on ya.
You're doing so well. I'm getting emotional. I promise not. I've thrown the onions, ginger, and garlic in the pot with just a little oil, and we'll saute until they're just getting aromatic.
Come on. I'm sure Dad would tell you more sordid details if you just pushed a little.
Daddy, I thought we were close enough that we could tell each other anything.
Oh.
That's a dirty guilt trip, Jala.
I learned from the best.
What an active imagination you have, Jalu. Oh, look, it's time to add our vegetables.
Okay.
Where's the handheld camcorder? I should be recording this. Here we are. Time to add the leftover chicken curry.
How do we always have leftover chicken curry lying around?
Any good house should always have leftover chicken curry just around.
Well, how else am I supposed to enjoy retirement? I drink chai, I make chicken curry, and I go on long walks.
You sound...
I'm living the dream, Jalu. I'm living the
I mean, that does sound like a pretty good life. Drink tea, make curry, have a long walk.
Her exes would say so.
Yeah.
When I was in college, my buddies and I worked at this mini market. The manager was terrible. He withheld pay for random offenses, things he said we'd broken or were missing. We found out later he was stealing and blaming it on us, actually.
Oh.
Wow, what a complete
Piece of work, yes.
piece of garbage, more like. Total goddamn asshole. A real mother...
Okay, enough.
Yeah.
Dad looks like he forgot how to breathe.
You get the picture?
That's not very nice to say, although I appreciate your righteous anger on my behalf. Brookman can be the same way if I'm driving and someone cuts us off in traffic.
You're going off topic.
Sorry. Pour these whisked eggs into the pot to cook and I'll continue the day.
Yeah, tell me more of your wild youth.
The student has become the master. So we're out drinking after a shift and we're all complaining, telling anyone who would listen about this manager. Suddenly, everyone in the bar is buying us rounds, lamenting their worst bosses. We decided, in our bluster, that it was time to finally get back at him. And so, we ask around, we find out what neighborhood he lives in.
Oh, this is good.
And
How about we slice the roti into thin strips? It's the last ingredient, and they add the most delightful little crunch. Oh, don't give me that look, Chalu. A good story needs suspense. Maybe I should be the one taking cooking lessons from you. But we had found his neighborhood, and then, finally, his house. We decided we needed energy to do what needed to be done. So, we went to get some chicken kotoroti.
And? Confess your crimes, father.
Crime? There were no crimes, my silly bean. We spent the rest of the night eating, and I woke up with the worst hangover of my life.
What?
The next day at work, we found out the manager's car did get set on fire. No idea who was behind it, though. The end.
There is absolutely no way it wasn't you, or at least your friends, while you did look out.
This mild-mannered, dacey dad bit was no more than a guy's. Who knows what he's capable of?
I promise, I was investigated up and down. There's no proof I was ever even there. Come now, Jala, let's enjoy the efforts of our labor.
The best crimes are the ones where no one can prove you were there.
Wow, Dad. I thought I knew you, and it turns out you're a criminal mastermind.
I don't know if I've ever told the story of the nerdiest fucking time I hid from the cops. I don't think I've ever told this story. God, I'd have been like 17, and I don't even remember how we got to this point, but there was a group of us that decided in our little hometown that we were gonna do like a late at night sort of, I guess you'd call it like a LARP, like a live action roleplay. And the gist was, we were like within a certain radius around like the town center. You could go where you wanted, and there was like a small team trying to find people and a team trying to hide. And if like the finding team saw you, they had to catch up to you and touch you, and then you were also on the team trying to find and catch people. And the short version, a few people brought pretend. This is in the UK, where like it's not a place where we like have guns, so like we didn't really think about and this was in a tiny little town where we weren't thinking about big city knife crime problems. A few people brought like, you know, pretend rubber knives to be like, got ya. Not me, but a couple of people in the group did so. And like, you know, I was like 17. I was not thinking of like gang knife crime teen activities. So someone at some point saw a teen running in the dark between the trees with what appeared to be a knife in their hands. The cops got called, and the cops started looking for everyone who was playing this game, being like, nah, all of you need to, like, because someone said they saw someone with a knife, we got to round all of you kids up and like check that you don't have an actual weapon on you. I saw the cops coming, and I rolled down a hill and hid in a bush at the bottom of a hill for about 3.5 hours to be sure that the cops were gone before I headed home. So that's a time where I hid for 3.5 hours in a bush at the bottom of a hill so that the cops wouldn't come and shout at me, because we were basically playing hide and seek in the dark, and a couple of people thought it would be a good idea to have a pretend knife to stab their friend with. Which might be the lamest time I've ever hidden from the cops.
Did you think you got your business from your Rama alone? No, you wouldn't be so lucky. Both sides, I'm afraid.
Which I do recognize the way I phrase that does leave open the possibility. I will neither confirm nor deny whether there are other stories of me hiding from the cops. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? I sure did make it sound like there were other stories where I've hidden from the cops. I know I've told stories of hiding from security people before. The one I always think of that I'm pretty sure I've shared is there used to be like a stretch of beach that we would go like underage drink on.
What do you think?
Because it was,
you remember it?
It was in a location that didn't have like a road running next to it, so like the Coast Guard couldn't come and check it, and the only way to get to it was like this rickety set of stairs down from a cliff face behind a castle. So like no one was going there at night, so you'd set up tents on that bit of the beach and underage drink. But to get in there, you had to go through the grounds of this castle where they locked up the gates in advance. So you had to like hop a gate, go through the grounds, go down the little rickety stairs, you could get to the beach. And clearly they worked out at some point that something like this was happening, so they've got a security guard who patrolled the grounds with a little torch. So then, to go to the cool underage drinking spot, you had to climb the big fence and then navigate the castle grounds without, like, the security guard spotting you to get to the little stairway down to get to the beach. Because once you got down to the beach, that wasn't technically their jurisdiction. They couldn't do anything about it. They could only stop you during the bit where you were crossing through the castle. PWUZ was again, there are certain places in my life, there are certain places I've lived where I'm like, yeah, being shot by the police for concern you had a knife, it would have been a very real possibility. It is an activity that happened because we were living in, like, tiny little church village full of, like, little old people, and, like, nothing dangerous has ever fucking happened there. we had the privilege that there was a certain degree of privilege in not having to think about the possibility. And again, I didn't, to be clear, I did not know that these rubber knives had happened. I did not know about this fact until the police are coming toward the hill and someone goes, "Oh shit, is it because so-and-so's plastic knife?" And that was the first I knew that had occurred. I have two parents who were cops. My concern was more, if I get caught by the police, my parents will end, like, you think it's bad, like, the police calling your parents because, like, you're a teenager who got caught doing something. It's so much worse when the police go, "Oh, you're so-and-so's kid," and your police parents get called into the police station. Like, that was my nightmare scenario.
I have to say, Podijua, this dish would put Roshan's mum to shame.
Roshan?
Oh yes, the amateur bodybuilder who set up...
What?
Ha! Just kidding. His mother did make excellent chicken roti, though.
Ooh. I've just received a really interesting email I need to give a read to quickly that I can't talk about publicly, but I need to give a read. I gotta respond to this email quickly. Sorry while I do work emails while we're on stream. Sometimes this is just how timelines work. I've got to put a thing on my calendar now that I to do. Well, you might be getting more than one accessibility episode this week. There might, by my count, there might be 3 episodes by this time next week of AA. I'm glad that my illness was last week and not this week, because if my illness had been this week, it would have really fucked with some stuff. Well, cool, yeah, I'm glad I was able to respond to that. Did your moon goddess try to contact you again? No, she's not tried to contact me for a little while now. It's been a while since moon goddess lady's been keeping me updated. I fell out of favor with her, it seems. Or I just, completed my destiny. My fortunes had finished being told. There's nothing more that I need to do as the moon goddess. Dia says, "It was nice to see you again. I hope to see you more often. Come downtown. There's an oversized sewer rat calling your name." Okay, okay, we're heading this way. Oh, I have so many things I gotta do. Yeah, I can say this much about AA going on at the moment. I can't talk to you about any of the specifics once this thing is plugged in or connected. My review is coming next week, but I can say I have a pair of PlayStation Access controllers now, which I have been working on my review of. I can talk about the unboxing experience, which will come up a little bit in an AA episode that's going up tomorrow, where I talk about accessible packaging. There's some neat stuff with the packaging, like the outer sticker on the outer edge of the box has 2 large loops, where if you pull from either side, it removes the sticker down the middle, and you can open the box, and that's really nice. But yes, I'm glad that, like, that's the big reason that I'm glad that I was ill last week, not this week, because would have really fucked things over if I'd been ill during time to review the big hardware thing accessibility-wise of the year. Like, that review, since that thing got announced, it was pretty clear, like, this is going to be one of the big accessibility conversations of the year. I gotta be on that shit. Oh, we're literally going to the sewer, aren't we?
Hey, Jala, over here.
I hope you're not planning to stalk me. I'm not afraid to get in a fist fight with a mascot.
No kidding. We have a lifetime ban from the Tacoma Dome.
No regrets. So, what do you want? What?
What do you want? Such an open-ended question. You'll find out in time.
Clever of you to use the sewers to get around without being seen.
It is it?
Must be hell to get the smell out of that fake fur, though.
I'm here to give you a gift today, Jala.
My mother warned me to beware of bears bearing gifts.
Smart woman. Well, I think you'll like this particular gift. The spirit of Barefoot extends far beyond the park. Under the ground, through the air, my claws reach everywhere in Timber Hill.
Sir, this isn't helping the argument that you're not a cult leader.
Even here, to what they think is the built-up, concreted over heart of the town.
Yeah, the more you speak like this, the more I'm convinced that they're right about you being a cult leader.
But you and I know better, don't we? All these people, they can't see.
Ooh.
But now you will.
Bellabean in the Twitch chat says, "Hi, I've been playing this game since I saw you play it on Monday. Cool. Have you been enjoying it? I hope you've been getting on well with it."
I'm giving you a gift, Jala. Don't waste it.
Indeed.
I can do skate challenges downtown. Okay. Sure. Hooray, I'm glad you're loving it. Look, despite its rough edges, I think it's pretty neat. Okay. Okay, where are these burgers at? Was that time already running out? Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I'm... Okay. Ifran. Okay, yeah, this is our next X to deal with. Shahruk's missing again. He's an older gentleman. We'll probably ignore you if you called his name last seen near Downtown Fountain. I'm assuming that's the cat in the Baby Bjorn there. Okay. Bellabean says, battling the thirsty suitors that Grandma sends is my favorite part. Honestly, really love that. I know I'm not doing a lot of it on stream, but it's pretty good. Okay. Sure, I'm ready to
go.
fight this cat. Why not? Which is, yeah, gonna send the X running. Honestly,
I know you ran away just to avoid being scolded. You really made
I
me
respect
worry.
the hell out of anyone that will go around town with their cat and a Baby Bjorn. That look, usually I'd be 100% on team Jala don't end up with a man, but like, how bad could this man be?
How could you? Mrs. Pereira's parakeet had a long life ahead of her.
Meow.
Shark, don't give me that innocent face.
Sharuk or Shark.
Meow. Meow.
What is this cat's what was the voice acting choice for this cat?
I know exactly what happened to those missing hamsters last month, too.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. I am a cat. Meow, meow, meow.
They did not have it coming.
If I heard a cat in the real world that sounded like this, the only logical conclusion I could come to is you were an evil old man, maybe like a CEO or something, and like to be taught the errors of your ways, a witch cursed you to be a cat now.
Did I just become an accessory after the fact to premeditated bird murder?
Shara can't help his instincts. And don't tell Mrs. Pereira, but that parakeet was a real so-and-so.
Did I mention I'm really not a cat person?
Were you trying to find Sharuk? Wow, that's really nice of you, Jala.
Haven't you heard? I'm in the running
Okay,
for
apparently the
these
cat
days.
is named after a famous Bollywood actor. That would make sense.
Canonize.
We don't do that in Islam.
Look, you love making excuses for other people's shitty behavior. I love being let off the hook. It's worked so well in the past. Why mess with a system that's functioning?
Way to bring the sincerity in your journey to being a better person, Jala.
That's not... I don't really...
Oh, no way. I'm not going to let you get your claws in Irfan again.
Yep, clearly an old man that got cursed.
You want his forgiveness? You'll have to get through me first.
Sure. Big old pushover, apparently.
Oh, that's so much better.
The cat talks? I deserve hazard pay for this.
You thought you'd just have to say a few kind words to Irfan and he'd roll over and show you his belly? Well, too bad. I'm a much more formidable opponent.
Look, I'm not here for a fight. I'm here to listen.
Oh, yes, we've heard all about your little apology tour from Sergio and Dia. I don't know what your game is, but you've toyed with this boy enough.
Ooh.
We're not interested in your apologies.
That's for him to decide, isn't it?
Irfan doesn't always know what's best for him. He's better off without you in his life. And deep down, you know that.
Well, before we get too much into this, I do want to give a little... I very rarely do this. I'm doing a little self-promo on stream today because as of starting yesterday, the audiobook version of Gender Euphoria is available now. The anthology of positive real-life stories of gender-related joy from myself and a bunch of other generally non-cisgender authors. It's available in audio form. There's like 8 hours of me sat in a booth reading a book about trans people just having a positive good time. I have some codes, and I'm gonna give a couple of codes away on stream today. But hey, if you like the idea of listening to 8 hours of me just read nice, chill stories of trans people having a good, nice time, that's a thing that you can do now. And I'm gonna play a short little clip of it so you can just hear a little example of, oh hey, that's Laura reading some nice words about trans stuff at me. Let me find a good... Which one shall I jump to? Let's go... let's do a little bit of My Mister's Mister. Pull this one up. My Mister's Mister. Ensuring I got a gender-affirming wedding. Miles Nelson. Autistic author and trans man living in Durham, UK, who came out at age 17. I'm going to tell you a story that began 6.5 years ago, when a boy met a girl who turned out to be a boy as well. That girl was me, and that boy's name was Chris. We first met through Pokemon X and Y, a week after its release.
We'd play together whenever we had a break from studying. A month later, we met for the first time outside of sixth form for our first Pokemon tournament, ready and willing to face each other and duke it out for the crown. There, he asked me out by nicknaming his team of 6 creatures to spell out a romantic message. We both lost the tournament, but took home something far, far more important.
There you go. There's a very little clip of that happening. Listen to me being in a fancy booth, reading just trans people telling nice stories of good gender times they had. I'm gonna put a code for that audiobook in the chat. Which this first one, it's just gonna be available to whoever wants to grab it first. I'm gonna chuck the instructions of how you redeem it in the chat. Oh. Nope, that did not copy. That was my alt text for the tweet image. Okay, that should be the instructions there, and I'm gonna throw a download code. The only thing I ask is if you successfully redeem that code, let me know in either the Twitch or YouTube chat, so I know that someone's got it and I can strike it off the list. But that is a free code for the audiobook in there that is available to whoever happens to grab it. I have a few more of these that at some point during the week I will do some stuff with. There might even be one more on stream today. We'll see. I'm gonna try and do impressive.
I have access to tuna anytime I want. That's the power of cash and a can opener.
Okay, we did affect a rook, which means we can use Jaw Dropper. Okay, why is that one? Okay, that's worth knowing.
I knew it was a matter of time before you came crawling back to him. But he doesn't need you anymore. I'll make sure of it.
Okay, this time I know where X and Y are on the thing. Okay, did slightly better that
The way
time.
your relationship began was twisted. Even you can't deny that.
Ooh, the cat's not wrong. This one's juicy, even by Jala's putrid standards. Jala and Irfan were assigned together to do a group project about Jane Eyre in 9th grade. Irfan's dad got seriously sick, and he confided in Jala. Started to cry on her shoulder, and she kissed him. Oh, did I mention she was still dating Tyler at the time? Messy.
Kissing Irfan back then was not my proudest moment.
Did you even know that it was my first kiss?
Oh.
Wow, Jala, first Sergio, now Irfan. This is a pattern. This is a fetish.
Hey.
The first kiss stuff? Gross. But let's not lose focus. He started to cry, and your response was to kiss him? What's wrong with you?
When things are bad and you're powerless, sometimes the best thing to do is distract yourself. You know, stop dwelling in the moment. Feel good for a little while.
Oh, so you were being altruistic, making out with a crying boy who is just coming to terms with losing his only living parent.
Yeah, Jala, you're not in the right here. Ooh, as Undying Abstract, you was able to redeem the code. Apologies for anyone else, if anyone else was in the process of trying to grab it. Glad that you got it. I hope you enjoy the audiobook. Enjoy. Anyone who didn't get it, I'm going to try and give a couple other codes out, but also, hey, you can check out Gender Euphoria wherever audiobooks are sold. There you go. I've got to do at least a little bit of self-promo when a new thing comes out.
Okay, as you say that, I'm realizing that maybe a hug might have been more appropriate.
You think?
You should have just stayed far, far away, Jala.
Ooh. How homestuck is Thirsty Suitors? I I don't know how to answer that because I feel like there's two distinct answers. There's how homestuck is it actually, and there's how homestuck would you say it is as someone looking for homestuck in it.
I will make you rue the day you stepped foot back in Timber Hills.
Sorry, I apologize. I have like a very important email that's come in and I'm trying to double check that there's nothing that I need to respond to in that email tonight that can't wait until the morning. Ooh. Apologies, sorry, I'm having to read this thing because it kind of can't wait. Okay, that can wait until tomorrow, but it's a good email, but it's one that like does change my plans for what content I'm publishing when this week. I gotta shuffle my work around a bit because of that email.
I require your aid, but only for a moment.
Was your inner voice always this melodramatic, Irfan?
I find his timbre very soothing.
Yes, thank you for your patience, everyone, while I get... This is always the way. The most, like, time-sensitive I have to respond to them right now emails always come through between 9 p.m. and midnight UK time. Just when I'm like, let's settle down for a stream. And it's, like, far enough in the day that it's, like, if it's usually an American if they're emailing me at that time of day, and I'm like... If I don't email you back now, I'm not going to get a response until, like, a good chunk into tomorrow for me. And I'm like, I gotta get on this now. Right, so we're gonna use Jaw Dropper one more time.
Your seductive witchcraft holds no power over Irfan while I'm here.
I had no idea cats could be misogynistic.
Okay, that impressed effect isn't going to last much longer, so I'm going to have to find a
What's
new
the matter, Jala?
status to inflict on the big cat.
I wish I'd let you get the last word.
Okay, we got one more turn. I'm really not good at that QTE.
This will make you feel all better. And hey, I'll give you a treat later tonight for being extra brave.
Okay, you are still... Come on. Can I nail this once? Do I need to be pressing it slightly early on that? I guess that's where I'm screwing up. Okay. What's the combat like? It is turn-based combat where you are trying to intuit based on, like, the conversations I've been having. I have to work out what kind of taunt is going to be effective against that particular target based on the kind of verbal strengths and weaknesses they have, in order to then get some of my special attacks to deal extra damage, or do regular attacks to, like, build back up my magic meter, basically. Raging taunt. I think... I think this big cat could be enraged.
How am I supposed to be responsible for my actions when you can't be responsible for your feelings?
Hey, he doesn't
Yeah,
control
called
me.
it.
No one controls me.
Yes, this big cat is very thinks it's better than me, and therefore rage seemed like a I failed Darwincy says you didn't hold. Yeah, I'm aware I didn't hold. I fucked up a button prompt. Well done for noticing. Right, so, I can do rage side. Now I'm hoping once we get the cat out of the way, Ifram will be vulnerable as a result.
Tiger, no! You can't leave me here alone. Jala, what have you become? How could you do that to him? He's just a little guy.
I'm sorry, Irfan. Just promise me you won't let her get in your head.
Shahrukh, please. I can't do this without you.
I really didn't mean to hurt him. Or you.
But you did. You always do.
Mmm.
You took my first kiss, you took my dignity, and now you've murdered Shahrukh. I'm not gonna let you get away with walking all over me anymore.
That's good. Stand up for yourself. Be you know, stand up for your feelings. Oh.
That first kiss was wrong of us, but we didn't stop there, did we? I was so ashamed of being a cheater, but I'd liked you for so long, and you were so convincing. I didn't want to lie anymore, but you kept telling me to live in the moment.
Yeah. I mean, look, it does sound like this guy has big self-esteem issues, but also, like, yeah, I can't blame him for the person you've had a crush on for ages when you have really low self-esteem suddenly is acting into you and is telling you to, like, don't fuck it, like, don't fuck it up. Talking about it, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, I can see how you got there.
But when we got found out, you flaked on me.
Yes, the situation as I understand it is when the cheating got exposed, Jala basically, like, let Ifran take all the blame for it.
You let me take all the blame.
Yeah.
You were too busy trying to fix things with Tyler to even glance in my direction. The entire school hated me for getting in the middle of the meant-to-be Tyler and Jala romance.
Yeah, the school saw you as the, I guess the term would be the homewrecker. And, yeah.
To be honest, I hated myself too. You turned me into a cheater.
I was not prepared for everyone at school taking sides. I mean, no one could have expected that.
Oh, really? Back then, I needed comfort. My dad was dying. I had to learn how to care for him. I had to look after my little sister, protect her. I was sleep-deprived, confused, miserable. The last thing I needed was to feel ashamed of myself on top of that.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say that, like, Ifran is completely innocent and couldn't have, like, said no to being complicit in cheating, in like, you know, knowingly cheating or helping someone cheat on their partner. But when the situation is, I'm a scared teenager whose only living parent is dying and I'm seeking emotional comfort, and someone steps in and offers me that emotional comfort I need in the form of a relationship, yeah, the Jala, you are definitely the one more in the wrong there. You cheated on your partner, and it definitely seems like you took advantage of someone who was, like, desperately in need of emotional comfort. The game's called Thirsty Suitors. It's a dating sim about dealing with your, like, the bad, fucked up breakups you had in the past. Go have conversations with your exes and fix your messy breakups via Persona-style turn-based battles. Raven says he took the blame for her and now he tries to blame her for his actions. Not so much. Like, the way that it was portrayed when we spoke to Dia about it was very much everyone was like, Ifran, why would you try and break up this wonderful relationship when it all came to light? And Jala made no attempt to go, actually, I'm the one who kissed him, I'm the one who, like, told him to do the relationship, I'm the one who, like, chose to cheat on Tyler. Like, Jala at any point could have put her hand up and been like, I was the one that initiated this, I'm the fuck up. Like, if anyone should be hated for, like, breaking up me and Tyler's relationship, it's me, who cheated and took advantage of Ifran's emotional vulnerability. But no, Jala was like, oh, I'm not the... No one thinks I'm the villain here. Works for me. Yeah. Again, much like most of the, like, relationships that we've seen in this game of, like, dealing with these breakups, neither side is perfect or blameless. You can maybe sometimes go, there's a little more blame one side than the other, but they've done a good job with these, like, messy... looking back on these messy teenage relationships and being like, neither of you can wash your hands and say you're squeaky clean in that situation, but you can kind of understand sort of how both of them got there in their own, like, kind of fucked up ways. Gumba Master,
All
when...
that I can forgive. I can accept.
Yes.
I can even understand.
Without addressing any other pieces of media that people might want to address, when I played this a couple of weeks ago for the first time and I talked about it on Podquisition, I described it as kind of a reverse Scott Pilgrim. The way I described it at the time, and I'll say nothing else, is I described it as, what if Scott Pilgrim was about Ramona going, hey, instead of getting some guy to beat up my evil exes, maybe I just go have a conversation with my exes and recognize that they weren't necessarily evil, and I was maybe also kind of evil in those situations, and maybe we just fucking talk it out.
But my dad died later that year. Everyone from school came to the funeral, including Tyler. And she had every right to hate me.
Oh god, is he gonna say that Jala didn't come to the dad's funeral?
But you didn't come.
Fucking hell, Jala. Yeah, no, Ifran, I think, look, Ifran, don't pretend you didn't have any degree of control over the fact that you were complicit in the cheating, but, like, Jala is definitely the bigger villain here.
The gossip about us has died down. I didn't want to rake it all up again.
You not showing up made it so much worse. The whispers, the not really sympathetic looks. I had to face all of that alone.
I just didn't want to make things worse.
And yet somehow you did. Story of your life, huh?
I should have been there. I made a mistake. Another mistake. I really messed up, huh?
Understatement.
Ugh, I hate this. I hate feeling like this. I thought an apology was all I needed to get over you, but now that I have it, it's not enough.
I think that's fair. I think it is fair to go, I thought all I wanted was an apology, but now that I have the apology hasn't really fixed the fact that I feel really fucked up by what you did. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a regular attack so I don't have enough special meter.
Shark, you're back.
Oh, Thimba, I'm really sorry to hear that that everything's been going bad. I hope Mum's doing all right and it's not too bad. No apology needed for not being here sooner, but I really hope things improve. Raven the Cat in Twitch chat says, what if I, being in a 100% clear state of mind, don't want to have a conversation with my ex and don't feel that I'm able to forgive? Does it make me bad? No, I don't think so. I think some relationships are fucked up in different ways, and I think there are people... Look, there are people in my past I've wanted to sort things out with, and I've wanted to have those conversations of, you really fucked me up and I want closure. And there are some people who fuck me up in ways where I'm like, I just want to be done with you and put the bit of my life that was you in the rearview mirror and never think about you or that part of my life again. And I think both are valid depending on the situation. I don't think one's inherently better than the other. Yeah.
And not a moment too soon. It's time she got what was coming to her.
Yeah, there are certain people you're just like, nothing you say or do is going to, either going to make it better or is going to be something I'm actually going to believe you're sincere about. being sorry about, and sometimes it's okay to just let those things go.
No, wait. There's something I need to ask her first. Forget apologies, Jala. How about a truth from you instead? I've always wondered, did you even like me? Or was I just a way to run away from your real life?
Look, I don't know what the answer to this question is, but I feel like everything I've learned about Jala tells me that Jala probably was taking advantage of that situation.
Why ask the question when you already know the answer?
I wanted to hear it from you, even if it hurt.
You were exactly the kind of person I was supposed to be with. Hardworking, handsome, brown, a man.
You were the relationship I've grown up being told I'm supposed to want. Thimber in the Twitch chat says, fun fact, I did my Spotify Wrapped and my top song from the year was the Ichiban theme from Yakuza Like a Dragon. Hell yes. Oh, I'm curious now. What is my... How do I check my Spotify Wrapped? I wanna know that information. I wanna know what I've listened to most this year. Now that I know that's an option. Is there like a link I click on to find it out? Because if so, I might just check that information. It's not showing up on desktop, but I'll try opening the app on mobile and see if that makes that visible. It's not showing up immediately for me when I... Oh, there it is. Wrapped has its own section. I know that we're in the middle of a very, like, emotional, dramatic, boss fight, but I want insights on what my music listening has been like this year. Let me mute my phone so that no licensed music plays. What did I listen to this year? Come on. Sorry, I'm getting my little musical insights. Which country did I get? Is that a thing? Is this what country most of my music was from? I listened to 5 genres. Are you going to tell me what those genres were? How did my taste stack up? My most listened to genres this year were... I will get told in a second, I'm sure. Indie, folk punk, otacore, whatever that is. I didn't see what the other two were. It moved past them quick. My music tastes are similar to people from Portland, USA, who tend to be fans of Warriors, the Mountain Goats, and someone else. I listened to 500 different unique songs this year. There was one that really connected. Oh, that's disappointing. A new song that I found this year and listened to a lot is a song from a band that I had to stop listening to pretty shortly after I found them, because turned out that several members of that band were pretty fucking racist. It was a band called Hoots Force that I found through a game called Ragnarok, and I listened to that song on loop for like 4 days, and then found out that band contained several sexist, racist, misogynist band members, and stopped. But that tells you how much I fucking binged them in the few days before I found out they were shit and stopped listening to them. They still somehow made it into my fucking Spotify Wrapped. What other favorite songs did I have this year? Let's have a look. My top songs included Love from the Other Side by Fall Out Boy. Really? That was in my top songs? Permanent Rebellion, LS Dunes. Thanks from We Are OFK. Footsteps, We Are OFK. 2 different OFK tracks made it into my top songs from this year, apparently. That is surprising. I did not Anticipate that. There's a playlist of all the songs I loved. We'll let that pass. Time is a construct, but we kept track anyway. I listened to 3,200 minutes of music. Cool. August 19th, I listened to the most music. I think that was a day I was flying to Gamescom. I listened to a shit ton of music while I was doing a very lengthy travel day. Oh! My most listened to artist this year was OFK. We Are OFK, that game that came out this year that had like a band's debut EP as part of it, was my most listened to band this year. That's pretty cool. My peak listening, yeah, January and August I had really big peaks of listening to We Are OFK. Same for LS Dunes. I think I saw LS Dunes play live in January. My Chemical Romance, January, September, May, and September, I had really big peaks of listening to. Yeah, of course, My Chemical Romance. It's always somewhere in my most listened to artists. Fall Out Boy, I apparently listened to a lot of in January and February, when they had new music out. Yeah. My top artists: OFK, LS Dunes, My Chemical Romance. Sorry, I'll get back into the game in a second. There's now a video of a man playing, and my phone is muted, so I don't know who he is or what he's saying because there's no captions. Who are you?
Doing so much to help support us making more music. Can't wait for next year. Lots of new shit coming out, so.
Don't know who that is. Is that some... I don't know who that was or what band they were from. He's one of the artists I listened to. I don't know who he was, though. There was no subtitle to tell me. Who were you? No. There you go. There's some insights into my music listening this year. I hope that was interesting. I'm surprised, but in a positive way, that OFK was the size it was this year. Fall Out Boy had some really fun new music this year, honestly. Yeah, what was that? That new song was yeah, they had one track this year that was like real fucking catchy. Trying to find the thing here. It was somewhere on here. It was Love from the Other Side. It was a little like campy, a little exaggerated, but it was real fucking, you could have a dance to it kind of rock track. Love from the Other Side was real fun. It was real catchy. Anyway, let's finish this boss fight.
I wouldn't have to explain anything to the world if I was with you.
Thank you for telling me your truth, Jala. I think that's the first time you've been truly honest with me.
Okay, no. Now she's got you thinking being hardworking and handsome is a bad thing. Wake up, Firfan.
Yeah, none of those are the tracks I would have thought about when I was thinking about stuff that I enjoyed this year. I can tell you an album that I think is the best album I heard this year. Definitely best like debut I've heard in a while. Is a band called Problem Patterns that have a debut album called Blouse Club. They are a very progressive all-female punk band that I found through a TikTok of a song that I think was called Turfs Fuck Off or something like that. Let me find out. It was Turfs Out, which is a 2.5-minute song from this cis lesbian-filled band going, "Hey Turfs, don't fucking act like you speak for us. You do not speak for all women." The line that stuck with me was, sister is spelt with an S, not a C. And I was like, fuck yeah. That whole album is really fucking good fun. They have such wonderful track names as Lesbo 3000, is a fun one. Poverty Tourist. Yeah, that whole album is like, I can't recommend them highly enough. For a band that like has only just released their first album and is playing to like little 100-person venues, they're fucking great. They played a BBC sponsored, I think it was the Northern Ireland Music Awards, a couple of weeks ago. And despite it being a BBC-run event where they were told not to have any political messaging, they got out both a trans flag and a Palestinian flag on stage during their set, and I'm like, hell yeah, good on you. The band name was Problem Patterns. And the album's called Blouse Club. I have popped both in the chat. Yeah, you know what? I think I can get away with playing you a little snippet of them just to give you a sense of them. We're gonna play some turfs out. It's like a 2.5 minute song. Just some good, like, grunge, like, some good Riot Girl grungy punk. It might be my favorite new release album this year. This is just good direct punk. Like, I appreciate a good bit of punk that, like, doesn't shy away from, like, what it doesn't sugarcoat its narrative. It's just like, hey, TERFs are gonna tell you that TERF or gender critical are slurs, but that's just because they're trying to deflect from the fucking argument that they are trying to take away the rights from people under the guise of like, oh, we're protecting ourselves. Nah, fuck that. You're not doing so. You're just attacking trans people. Fuck off. I'm like, yeah, that's good solidarity punk. Yeah. I do enjoy this tiger. Right, we're gonna finish this fucking boss fight.
She's gotten into your head. I told you she was dangerous.
Fruitalus in the Twitch chat says, I know lyricists who use subtext and they're all cowards. Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
You're too soft, Yvonne. That's why you need me. So I can do the things you're too weak to do. Time to end this, Jala.
Oh, the cat's got strength back. Did the cat just smoke from the hookah?
Oof, ouch. Want a hand with that?
Sorry, I didn't even, like, respond to the QuickTime event. The cat going and getting the hookah kind of distracted me.
I don't think you're supposed to be helping me.
It wouldn't be the first time you put me in a supporting role.
Okay, let's summon Auntie Chandra to deal with my heartbroken status ailment. Thank you, lesbian auntie. You're saving my emotions. Yeah, this video game is equally, like, a good reminder that sometimes subtext is for cowards.
Than most of my patients.
You deliberately.
Okay. Okay, so
Just take a deep breath, okay?
presumably I've got to get cat's health down to 0 again so that Ifran's reopened up to taking
I'm
damage.
confused. Aren't we fighting against each other?
Okay.
Even the rules of war allow you to treat the wounded.
Oh, I like that. Thimba in the Twitch chat says, in other news, PlayStation players can play Calico, a queer-inspired game about girl love and cats. It's about managing a cat cafe. I really like the idea of Calico. I really enjoyed it when it came out on Switch. But the initial release was, like, very rough around the edges. I am intrigued to check it out again, but I really hope it's in a slightly more technically complete and polished state than it was when it originally released. Shrouded Wolf says, the same one that's on Steam, the one that's lovely but kind of buggy. Yeah, that one. That was my experience of the Switch release, was lovely but kind of buggy, kind of janky. I don't know whether it's been updated at all. I don't know whether it's in any better of a state than it was. It was like, I had a lovely time with it, but I would find it really fucking hard to recommend to anyone. Was kind of my feelings on Calico at the time. Okay, what if I use shocking on the tiger? Will that work?
So, are you Shahrukh the first, the second, or... Irfan's had a few pets since I've known him.
Where are they?
A farm upstate. Probably. I've got your back, Tiger. You were there for me when Mrs. Chowky blamed me for her canary's concussion.
Oh, there's no more question marks on Shahrukh. Shahrukh can't be...
It wasn't your fault. The canary escaped your grip and flew directly into the window by itself.
Yeah, okay, I can't status affect Shahrukh anymore, I guess. Ifran, you healed me.
That's gonna leave a bruise.
Or you could tell your beast to retract his claws.
Okay. I guess I just gotta basic damage.
Shahrukh?
You're taking her side over me? After everything I've done for you?
We should get Irfan a less reactive pet. How do you think he feels about Goldfish?
Thimba says, I personally give Calico a pass. The game was made by 2 people. The fact that the game was made by 2 people explains the state it released in. And I can go, I'm not going to be overly harsh because I understand that it was made by like 2 people. But that doesn't change the fact that it released in a state where I found it kind of hard to have fun with. And it's like, I can logically know it is the way it is because of the limited constraints in which it was made under. But also, I've played things made by single people that were more polished than this. That the development team size doesn't necessitate it has to be this janky, and regardless of understanding, like, logically understanding the reasoning, emotionally, like, I just wasn't having as much fun as I wanted to be having playing it because of the jank that was there. And I think both of those can be true at the same time.
A nice lizard, maybe.
Let me help.
Are you even allowed to practice medicine on humans?
My sister calls you a demon from hell, so you're an exception.
What if I just do this?
Shh, Shahrukh.
She just gets me so angry. Her own sister came to the funeral when she didn't.
She did?
Yeah, Jala, you kind of
Just
fucked
take
up.
a deep breath, okay?
I'm confused. Aren't we fighting against each other?
Even the rules of war allow. Sharek, that's enough.
No, you can't. You did all your sister's science fair projects for her. You taught her to cry. You still cry every time someone's parakeet dies. You even adopted me when no one else wanted me. You're a soft touch, kid.
Do you feel like we're intruding on a special moment?
I just have allergies, okay?
Just admit that they're sweet, you reptile.
I'm soft. I like being soft. But that doesn't mean I'm weak. I don't need you to protect me anymore.
Hell yeah,
I
Ifran.
have to let go. I have to let you rest. Your job is done, my friend. Wow. I shouted at you and actually expressed my feelings, and the world didn't end. I mean, you're okay, right? We're okay?
We're more than okay. I think we're better than we've ever been.
That's how I feel too.
Hooray! We talked things out and we're honest about our feelings, and things are a little better now as a result. Thimba, I'm gonna guess, was this like...
learn how to say no to you.
Thimba, was it the second skate park, the goth girl in the skate park? Because that's the person I might have done on my first playthrough. Yeah, no, it's really easy to misunderstand what the game wants of you there, I think. It's the I'm gonna help out. Oh no, I have further entrenched you in the cult by helping. Oops.
But that doesn't mean I don't want to be friends. I've always admired you, Jala.
Okay, but we literally just established how much of a dick I was to you.
Oh, you were. But that isn't the measure of who you are. Or at least I don't think it is. So, friends?
Friends.
And, oh, one last thing.
For you?
Can you check in on Aisha for me? She's been running around the skate park and acting, let's just say, even more secretive and surly than the average teen.
Oh yeah, your little sister. I haven't seen her in years. Man, she was such a cute kid.
Well, she's definitely older now.
I'm great with teens. They're my people. I got this.
Okay, we're making good progress here, I feel like. What happened? We sorted things out with RX. They expressed their feelings and the ways we hurt them and fucked them over. We acknowledged that we kind of fucked up in how we treated them, and now we're kind of on good, healthy terms. We talked it out. We're good. Okay, let's go talk to Soundy. Darksteel, just earned a new one. Oh, Darksteel, sorry, I've only just seen your message. Thank you very much for the bits, Darksteel. Hey, are you feeling any better? I'm feeling better. I've still got the cough that I'm having to push through, but like, I'm feeling well enough that I wrote and recorded a very lengthy accessibility episode for next week, which is good. I'm well enough to like get good lengthy work, focus on doing good lengthy work. So that's a good sign that I'm doing better. Darksteel says, just getting over a sickness myself, stomach virus on Monday, I feel your pain. Have you played any of the flashback games? I don't think so. The name's vaguely familiar. What is this? Flashback game. Nope, I have never played any of these. I know nothing about the Flashback games. I enjoyed the 2013 remake and was looking forward to Flashback 2 until negative reviews came out. It's not a series I know anything about, really. Darksteel says, this game actually looks pretty interesting. Is it available on all consoles? I'm pretty sure it is. I know it's on Xbox, Switch, PC, I assume PlayStation as well. This game is a little janky in places, but there's a lot of heart to it. Like, this game feels pretty special if you can get over the... I mean, the main issue is it's at times a little bit janky skateboarding segments, but, like, everything else about it, I think, is honestly pretty magical. Yeah, it's on Game Pass, I believe. I mean, look, if you have Game Pass, it is there. It's on other things as well.
Though not as much as my next cub leader. I'd warm up a little before this particular battle if I were you.
Indeed.
I'm not going to do any skate challengings right now.
For so long, but you can hear it now.
Save the cult. I'm not here for the deep lore. I just want to skate.
Aisha resisted at first too. Has issues with trust, that one.
Flashback had a sequel announced for this year, but it got delayed. Interesting. Okay.
But once she was convinced that the mayor's skate park redevelopment would only be the beginning, how the yuppies would follow like locusts with their condos. Well, she soon realized that only Soundy Dearest could protect her home.
Oh, Echo, we're not dating a furry. This furry is maybe running a cult, taking advantage of, like, disaffected queer youth and getting them wrapped up into like, hey, wear all your furry outfits and hang out with me, an adult at the skate park, and like start skipping school to hang out with me, an adult at the skate park. Yeah, the furry might be a cult leader, maybe, question mark.
And if the only price was to stop spending time with her beloved brother, hard to swallow, but not enough to choke.
Okay, so this is Ifran, who we just had the battle with. This is going to be Ifran's sister. And this cult there was like, hey, stop spending time with your brother, spend time with me, keeping the skate park safe. You don't need to... The second he's like... Oh yeah, I told her that the only price was she had to stop spending time with her beloved brother. That sounds like cult behavior, because you are isolating the cult victim from their family, from their support network, to make them easier to keep trapped within the cult. That's like cult 101, is you isolate them from the family. You're like, your family's just gonna try and stop you from saving the skate park. I'm the only one who you can trust, blah blah blah, etc.
Siblings are overrated anyway. Only children might be weird, but they get everything.
Fear not, Jala. There's hope for you yet.
Simba says, talking about cults, Cult of the Lamb has a new update coming soon. I saw an email about this. I think it's some kind of slightly horny update. Is that right? It's in some way a bit of a horny update.
The only thing I'm afraid of is dying of boredom.
You're right. Enough talk. It's time for all of us to get what we want.
Yeah, so if this is Aisha, I think it was, then yeah, this is the sibling of the ex we just spoke to. Yeah, this is gonna be Aisha, isn't it?
Jala
Okay.
Jayarapna. Finally, we meet. What does Soundy want with someone like you? I guess I just have to trust in the bear.
Jeez, kid. What's with the attitude?
I'm Aisha, Irfan's younger sister. You broke his heart in high school. Ring any
Well,
bells?
yeah, but like we literally half an hour ago we sorted that out. We had a fight involving his cat turning into a giant tiger. We sorted our emotions out.
Irfan and I had a heart-to-heart. things are better.
Stop saying his name, or I will make your life a living hell.
Oh, she's so cute, like an angry, murdery kitten.
Stay away from my brother, Jala. And better yet, go back to whatever pit of hell you crawled back here from.
Okay, shocking taunt?
I know you're like 18, but if you don't lower your blood pressure, your head will explode off your shoulders.
Has anyone introduced her to edibles yet?
Fruitless, there's a degree of, you know, showing off your cool skateboarding tricks to be able to get, like, do stuff in the skate park. But no, I'm just going to emotionally break this teen. Like, I'm going to deprogram them from the cult by basically, like, just sass talking them. Ooh, did not know Summon Soundy was an ability, huh?
You left town and never even had the decency to look back at the disaster you left behind in
You're
your
right,
wake.
that's why I've come back now, to deal with the disaster I left in my
I
wake.
guess you did teach me one thing. You don't have to be the dominant gender to be an asshole.
I was a young, confused, hurt kid who hurt other people. I'm not proud of it, but I was just human.
Your happiness doesn't matter more than other people's does. Why should it come at the cost of others then? Whatever redemption story you've decided for yourself means nothing to me. The truth is, you haven't earned forgiveness. All you've
Hey,
earned
hey,
is
Aisha?
this ass-kicking.
It's not really your place to decide whether I've earned forgiveness. The person who was actually wronged by Jala's actions has said, hey, we're good, you've earned forgiveness from me for the her. Like, you don't get to secondhand to be like, nope, nope, you're not forgiven for the thing that you didn't do to me that you did to someone else that they've forgiven you for.
I won't let you hurt my brother ever again.
But again,
He's gone through enough.
it's clear Aisha's, like, the concern here is genuinely, like, I don't want my brother to get hurt. Like, it's not out of any malice, I don't think. But yeah, as somehow in the Twitch chat says, to be fair, Ifran seems to have a history of not defending himself. I really get the impression Aisha is like, he won't defend himself. Like, I imagine her read on this is probably, oh, he says he's forgiven you, but he's probably just done that thing he always does where he's being a pushover and he says he forgives you, but he doesn't actually. He just doesn't want to say no to you, because she wasn't there, she didn't see it. So, like, good on you for trying to protect your brother, I
Time
guess.
I do us all a favor and kick your ass out of Timber Hills. I'll make Irfan see, and Soundy too. We don't need you here.
Okay, what other ones would work on you? Oh, Raging Taunt's gonna 100% be effective on you.
How about you get your own life instead of obsessing over your older brothers?
I was there, Jala. You're the one who doesn't realize the extent of her damage.
Here we go.
Are you scared, Jala? Because you should be.
Here we go.
Don't underestimate me. It'll be the last mistake you ever make.
Thimba, yeah, those sure are Yorkshire tea themed controllers. I preferred the PlayStation 5 Yorkshire tea controller because it's like a symmetrical design and the Yorkshire tea logo is like centralized. Not such a fan of the Xbox One where it's like a weird asymmetrical diagonal split on the design. The PlayStation one's not bad. The Xbox one's a bit rough. That is a skateboard being used as a tonfa, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose so.
You won, but this isn't over. I don't care if Irfan's forgiven you. I never will.
Did that help? Okay, gotta go meet Tyler outside. I don't know if I did okay there or if I fucked that one up. I tried. Timber, you're sad about the T controllers, just because, like, branding, or like, is there a specifically a reason to be upset about Yorkshire T controllers?
We haven't made enough progress. Are you even trying, Jala?
Have we forgotten that it's me?
Don't act like you don't want to know what's going on with those kids.
Yeah, I'm literally trying, like, my very best to deprogram these kids.
That's not the point.
I think that's exactly the point. Aisha hates her guts, so I guess it's not surprising you couldn't get anything out of her.
That's suspiciously understanding of you.
I heard you had it out with Irfan.
That's why I came home. To have some
Oh, you're sad because the
conversations long
Xbox
overdue.
design's not particularly good. Yeah, no, the Xbox design kind of sucks. The PlayStation one's alright. Look, for a bit of branded promotional tat, the PlayStation one's, I don't hate it.
And did it help?
You know, I think I actually feel better.
He's too nice for you anyway.
What?
Nothing. Forget it. Keep going with Soundy's troop leaders. You're 4 down, only 1 to go.
Okay.
You know, talking to Jala was very cathartic. I even made a breakthrough in my relationship with Shahrukh.
Who is Shahrukh?
A cat.
That's his cat.
I'm even more confused now.
He's a dweeb with no friends.
Oh. Yeah, makes sense.
Don't get hostile because Irfan's actually facing his past, unlike you.
Yeah, Tyler. Change your mind about your participation yet?
No, and for the record, I hate all of you.
You don't really mean that.
I'm deadly serious.
Whew. You guys are all so dramatic. It's my turn next. And I'm not gonna spend my time crying about the past like the rest of you. I'll show Jala exactly what she's been missing, and that's a good time.
Yeah, we don't really know anything about these last two
Better say your
exes.
goodbyes while you can, losers. I'm getting out of this damn town at the end of the month, and Jala's gonna be in the passenger seat right next to me.
I've used so many different formats of controller this week for various things. I've been swapping back and forth between Switch, PC, Xbox, Steam Deck, the Lenovo Legion Go, PlayStation Portal, PlayStation Access controller. I've been rotating between so many control schemes this week. It has broken my brain a couple of times.
It's your turn to pick, Tua, but there's a Twilight Zone marathon on right now.
Sure, Apache. That's fine.
Gosh, this game's sweet. It's funny, it's nicely emotionally complex, and then it just has little wholesome, calm oasis moments. Chapter 5, We Were Free, Jelly Beans. Helped Ifran find his lost cat and say goodbye to a coping mechanism that outlived its use. Okay, yeah, the cat was the coping mechanism. Is Jala growing as a person? What a perfect moment to backslide into bad habits and old flames. Interesting. Hey, it's me, Ifran. Farouk says he misses you. Oh, he hates me. It was me. I miss you. He's hissing. He's hissing right now, isn't he? How was Aisha? Nobody died. She's really a teenager now. Any idea how to get through to her? He loves Jalabis. Maybe it would soften her up. Oh, okay, so we've got to make some of those. Okay, we made the food that would help soften her up, but she's convinced you're trying to poison her. It'd be a crime. Okay, so we're gonna go take the food, and hopefully that will sort that relationship out. Is there anything new in here we haven't made? Kathy roll and pomfret fish fry. Yeah, let's do the cookings.
Kathy rolls, a Calcutta delicacy.
Before we head any further.
Spiced chicken thighs with juicy onions, spicy green chilies, and a hint of lime. Yummy!
Dad, I'm already hungry. You don't have to sell me on this.
Then I won't keep us from deliciousness any longer. Go, wash up. Have you washed your hands, Jala?
You know what I think it might be time for after this cooking minigame? One more giveaway of a Gender Euphoria audiobook download code. I think we'll give one more away on stream today when we finish this recipe.
Crush up some garlic and ginger for me, will you, Podidua? We're looking for a nice paste.
Well, like ginger, garlic, our parents' hopes and dreams.
You know, I learned this recipe to try to win over your party. It didn't work, obviously. She's a stubborn one, just like your Amma. Oh, don't tell your Amma.
You usually get on with everyone.
Yes, Thimber in the Twitch chat says, ReadPop, that controls video game websites such as Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, may be looking to sell the ownership of those sites via the Gamer Group. Yeah, that... Look, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't surprise me. ReadPop tried to buy E3, and then didn't host a single E3, and then tried to sell E3. ReadPop is having some, like, weird issues with, video games at the moment, and specifically, I've had a conspiracy theory for a while that someone high up at ReadPop has some kind of burned bridges with video game publishers, and that there are video game publishers that don't like ReadPop, and that was a big sticking point as to why E3 didn't work out and why they're trying to divest some of their video game stuff. I don't have any proof of that. It is a suspicion I've had for a while based on the number of big publishers that keep pulling out of ReadPop sponsors events like EGX over time. There's been like a weird omission. Darwincy says, where can I get it? I don't have an audiobook account. The Gender Euphoria audiobook is available wherever audiobooks happen to be sold. There's a lot of places that sell audiobooks. You can find it. If you search Gender Euphoria audiobook, you'll find a list of links of places that have it. I will be giving a code away today, and if at the end of this cooking minigame, for whoever grabs it first, and that will have, I will paste into the chat instructions on, like, here is a website you can go to redeem the audiobook via a code. Echo says, aren't ReadPop the ones who own MCM now and are driving up the ticket prices? Yes, they are. They own MCM and EGX, and MCM has gotten more and more expensive, while EGX has had fewer and fewer big video game publishers appear, and there's some weirdness going on there.
Alas, Patti is immune to the Jairatni charm, but thankfully your mother isn't. But let's keep these jokes about Patti between us. Hit the chicken mixture with some spice before we get too carried away. Have you considered becoming a chef, Jalu? It's mint chutney time. Remember how much your sister loves chutney?
Yes, Dad?
Aruni loved chutney so much, we started calling her chutney.
I remember, Dad.
Oh, Shrouded Wolf in the Twitch chat says, I went ahead and just bought it. Laura's rating is too lovely not to support. Oh, thank you. I hope people enjoy it. It's 8 hours of me reading my own and other people's just positive little happy gender stories.
You girls were so
It's
sweet.
I'm very proud of that little
Where
audiobook.
does the time go? It's like it was yesterday.
He's gone. Let's just blend it and move on before he pulls out the photo albums.
Okay. Blending minigame, go, go, go. There we go, that was pretty good.
Because that...
Her exes would say so.
The way I see it, I'm not married to your Patti. I married your mother, and I have no regrets about that. Genuinely, I think Patti's disapproval was harder on her than it was on me.
Darwinsy says, is this game covered / played by mainstream YouTube channels? I don't know. I know this has had some like positive spin from some video game websites, and I don't know how I don't follow a lot of mainstream YouTube. The people I do follow on YouTube, I've seen a few people playing this. It is a nice game, and it's got like a real distinct style to it that people have been like getting on well with. But I don't follow enough like big YouTube channels to know whether they're picking up on this one.
We need some filling for the cutty rolls. Cut up some pepper and onion for me, Jala Banana. Not too finely.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
You're doing so well. I'm getting emotional. I promise not to cry. You seem to be getting quite fired up.
Dad loves to deflect when he doesn't want to give his opinion.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
Let's fry up those chopped veggies first, and then toss in the chicken to...
Oh, Ant in the YouTube chat says, I plan on buying the audiobook when I get my check on Friday. I recently came out as non-binary and I'm so excited to just hear some nice positive stories in my ears. I'm so glad to hear that. I've said this story before, but the reason I wrote and put together Gender Euphoria was like very specifically because I just needed some positive trans stories in my life. Because like a big chunk of the writing of that book was done in like early 2020, when it's like, oh, I ain't gonna be going to Pride this year, and all of the like transphobic news coverage is like really ramping up, and I was like, everything feels like it's like the negative stories are getting worse, and I'm not gonna have in-person events to like have that sense of community. I'm gonna need some positivity in trans stuff during a weird year, and Gender Euphoria was my excuse to just focus on positive trans stories for a while, and I'm always really happy to be like, hooray, it can be that for other people now. I made it for entirely self-serving reasons in my desire to just have a bit of happy trans stuff in my own ears.
Maybe I wish you could remember more of my mother, Jalu. You were so young when she passed. She was a wonderful woman, though she didn't handle things with Chandra well. I'm sure she had regrets.
Did Auntie C forgive her in the end?
It wasn't as simple as that. Our mother didn't think she had done anything wrong. And, of course, neither did Chandra. Arama, she meant well, but she worried about appearances, reputation. What did the neighbors think? It ruled her life and ours.
You know what, Dad? I'm damn impressed at you breaking the generational cycle. Well done for recognizing that behavior in your mother and not passing it down and like enacting it on your kid. Oh, ye olde badger. I hope your Christmas present making's going all right.
That's why
At
when
least.
raising you girls, I wanted you to know you could come to me with anything. I didn't want a home full of secrets, brushed under every rug, for everyone to walk around on eggshells. Oh, speaking of which, time to whisk up an egg so we can fry the parotas.
This is such a good... This dad's so good. He's so good.
Your technique is absolutely absolutely mesmerizing. Where's the handheld camcorder? One of the things we really wanted to do for you kids was accept your partners unconditionally. That's why we welcomed Ahmed and Tyler back in the day. We'll accept whoever you end up with, Jala, as long as they make you happy.
Okay, Daddy. I know.
Now, come. Before the fillings get cold, fry the paratha with the egg on one side.
Aww. Shrouded Wolf in the Twitch chat says, cheeky question, will Who Hunts the Whale be an audiobook eventually? I would love for it to be an audiobook. It is not within my control.
Incredible bodydoers.
So to give you a little insight for people who don't know how book publishing works, I have a publisher for Who Hunts the Whale. The publisher is Unbound, and they publish physical books. So they published Who Hunts the Whale and handled the ebook, the physical paperback, that sort of thing. Audiobook publishing is typically done by different kinds of publishers. Like, there are companies that specialize in making audiobooks, and generally they will at some point go, we like that book and it's selling well and we want to publish an audiobook of that, and they'll reach out to the publisher and say, hey, can we purchase the audiobook publishing rights? And then they will arrange, like, getting the audiobook recorded, put out there, etc. I would love for there to be an audiobook. It's not in my control. It's basically down to whether either an audiobook publisher reaches out to my book publisher and says we'd like to buy the audiobook rights, or whether my book publisher decides that's in their best interest and reaches out and finds an audiobook publishing deal. Uncomfortable Labels is available as an audiobook. I came to an agreement with the publisher, Jessica Kingsley, to self-produce my own audiobook for that one. Things I Learned from Mario's Butt is available as an audiobook via the Unbound pledge page. Gender Euphoria is the first one that was, like, officially formally done at a fancy studio by an audiobook publishing company. Who Hunts the Whale? Again, I would love for that to be an audiobook. It's something that I just have to kind of sit around and hope that happens. For example, Gender Euphoria. Gender Euphoria was out for, I think, about 2.5 years before an audiobook publisher was like, yeah, we want to make that an audiobook. So, like, it could be a month from now, it could be 2.5 years from now. I might just get an email saying we want to make an audiobook out of this book. Are there any audiobook stores that let you just download an MP3 or other audio file of the thing? Really wish things didn't tie you into using a specific app. I don't know if that's an option off the top of my head. I feel like there's some DRM-free options, but yeah, there probably are places you can do it. I understand why they make you use their various apps. It's mainly for anti-piracy, and I get it, but... Uncomfortable Labels is the memoir I wrote about growing up at the intersection of being trans and autistic, back in, I think that released in 2019. The Oldie Badger, I don't know if you mean, like, generally or in a specific context, but you're welcome to, like, if like, in a specific context, you're welcome to drop me an email, and I'm happy to quietly answer anything if that would be helpful. I'm happy to pop my email in the chat if that would help. But yes, there you go. There's some insight on audiobook publishing and how that works. Okay, no worries. Let me put my email in the chat quick. The Oldie Badger, I can't guarantee how quick the response will be.
So, what do you think?
Feel free to drop an email and I will try and make some time to answer and help, if that would help.
Ah, this is perfection.
Come on, Dad.
Don't change a thing. The flaky parathas, the tender chicken, the bite of raw onion. I'd love to compliment you more, but I have to finish this while it's still hot.
Okay, and once this is done, we'll take like 2 seconds to level up, and then I'm going to give away one more copy of Gender Euphoria, because I have a handful of copies, and I can do a couple of little giveaways, so Reminder, it's available now wherever audiobooks are sold. All your favorite audiobook places have copies of Gender Euphoria, the audiobook. Let me pop the instructions on how to redeem in the chat, and then it's going to be first come, first served for the second code that is in the Twitch and YouTube chats now. And the only thing I ask, again, is if you do successfully redeem the code, let me know in chat that you got it so that everyone in chat knows that it has been received. And while we do that, I'm going to play another little snippet of one of the chapters just so you can hear a tiny little bit of me saying some words. Let's pop on like a minute or so of this one.
Loving my deep voice as performance rather than default. Laura Kate Dale. As a trans woman, the first time I really thought about my voice was when I started undergoing testosterone-based puberty in my teens. Growing up, my voice had always just sort of been a background aspect of my life, something I didn't really give much consideration. It was a baseline. It was familiar. It wasn't gendered in any way that really drew my attention, or that of anyone around me. It was the only voice I'd ever had, and it was mine.
Ooh, Ant in the YouTube chat got it. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy having an audiobook full of like 8 hours of positive trans stories to listen to. Yeah, I have a few more codes I might give away in some regard, in some way during the week. Look, I have a few codes, and I'm taking the opportunity to give some away in order to have excuses to talk about the book. It's shameless self-promotion. You gotta forgive me doing this. This is my first time having an audiobook, and as such, I'm doing my best to promo it as a thing. Or at least like an officially produced audiobook. I sat in a weird booth for like 3 days, reading a book while a mysterious voice in the void spoke to me. It was a surreal experience. Anyway, we've got one more cooking minigame to do, I believe.
Let's make fish fry. The trick is in the marinade. Everything else is quite straightforward.
I wonder what else she's been marinating on.
What was that, Jala?
Everything going to plan with the wedding?
Really, Jala? Can't I just want to teach you how to make fish fry without having some ulterior motive?
I assume every cooking session is an elaborate emotional trap.
Let's just get started, shall we? Start by washing your hands.
Okay, I'm gonna try and use the actual power-up option that I don't think I've used at all on stream yet, so we're gonna save up all our chilies, and hopefully within 7 steps we'll have an opportunity to actually use that effectively.
Score the fish in one direction, not too deep.
Some Hal in the Twitch chat says, shamelessly giving out a life-affirming audiobook that people want for free. How dare you? How dare I give away an audiobook every now and then in order to go, hey, it exists. If you didn't get the free copy, maybe consider picking one up. If you'd like to check out Gender Euphoria, available now at all participating audiobook retailers, blah, blah, blah. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get on well with it.
We just want to allow the marinade to sink in, not slice the fish into ribbons.
Okay, yes, we're just doing the basics until we get that.
Even Party would approve. What am I saying? Maybe I should lie down. So, how long exactly are you going to spend doing nothing in life and living in your childhood bedroom?
I guess facing up to my past mistakes and painstakingly trying to heal my important emotional relationships counts as nothing to you?
What is wrong with you today, Jala? You're in such a mood.
I feel like you're in a mood, Mum, with what you said immediately prior to my response.
Take some of that aggression out on the ginger garlic paste instead, will you?
Shrouded Wolf in the Twitch chat says the audiobook is pretty cheap too. I mean, I feel like it's very reasonably priced. Let me have a look at this here. It's on Audible for £16. Google Play, about $14. That's I think that's fairly reasonable, probably. What's it on other places? $7.99 with an order for people who've got an Audible membership. Yeah, look at that. I don't set these prices. They are what they are. Okay, so we're trying to get 4 chilies. We can do this.
Very good. What else do you expect, Jala? Chandra told me you've been helping her and Tyler with the skate park situation. Is it not going well? Is that why you're so touchy this morning?
I guess it would have been too much to expect sympathy from you, huh, Ma?
Well, I don't approve of the goings-on in the park. I've never trusted mascots. That's why I never took you girls to Disney World.
Tara says, Laura is in the pocket of Big Happy. She's part of the happiness lobby and she won't rest until we're all happy. Typical lobbyists. I mean, I did follow up Gender Euphoria with Stories of Autistic Joy, available now, which released October 19th, barely a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. Hey, if you enjoyed Gender Euphoria, an anthology of non-cis people's positive gender-affirming stories, and you like the idea of basically that exact same book, but a bunch of autistic people sharing positive stories of, like, what it's like to be autistic in the positive moments of being autistic, hey, check out Stories of Autistic Joy. If you liked Gender Euphoria, it's basically another Gender Euphoria, but for a bunch of autistic people being, like, happy about aspects of themselves as autistic people. Go check that one out.
What? That's why Auntie C snuck us there? I thought Amma just hated Joy.
Now, add the turmeric, coriander, Kashmiri mirch, garam masala, and cumin to the paste. Then finish with a dash of lemon. Good. But don't get overconfident. Whether things go well with the skate park or not, I hope you won't let that influence things with Tyler. She's been through enough, don't you think?
Why do you always take her side?
'Cause Tyler's... You only have one sibling, but somehow you're the third favorite child. That's devastating.
Coat the pomfret with the marinade, Jala. We don't have all day.
Okay, now time to see whether it was actually worthwhile to save up all these points to do the
set the fish aside to
super
rest
move.
and marinate
I don't think
further.
it's going to be worthwhile.
Speaking of which,
Oh no, I hate it when she makes these recipes metaphors for our emotional failures.
don't you think you've let the situation with Aruni marinate long enough?
No. You know what? I was planning to apologize.
Forget taking responsibility.
At this rate, she'll be married and have 3 children before you two actually talk. Forget it. Light the stove, Jala.
Yeah, is this going to get us over 3 stars? Probably not. I think it would have been more worthwhile to just... Look, I love this animation.
Did you feel that?
Mechanically, this rarely feels worthwhile to do.
It felt like someone else was guiding my hands.
Well done, Jala. That's what they say in basketball. Given your attitude, I'm sure I already know the answer to the... Are you planning to stay in Timber Hills?
Don't try to guilt trip me today, Amma. I have a lot on my mind.
It's a question I have every right to ask, Jala. Especially considering you live under my roof.
Why would I stay here when all you do is criticize me?
We're your parents, not domestic staff. If you don't want any commentary, stay in a hotel.
Look at that. The oil is hot enough to fry the fish now.
So it is. Put the fish in the pan gently. I don't need you getting burns on top of everything else.
Mom, you are not reinforcing the behavior you allegedly want. You allegedly want to see more of your daughter. Don't spend the entire time you're together hassling her, like, making her feel shitty, and then be like, oh, you don't enjoy my company. Fucking hell.
I've already given you
Okay, we just about got over three stars. That'll do.
How is it, Emma?
crispy on the outside, flaky in the middle, spicy, a little acidic.
So, perfect in every way.
Your overconfidence will be your downfall, Jala.
Okay, so we're gonna go try and help out Ifran with that food delivery, and that might be where we leave it for today. I'll see. I don't know if we're gonna go that much further today, but we dealt with at least one of the X's tonight. We've made some decent progress in this. And we're definitely gonna come back with some more of this on Friday. I don't want to get into another big section and then be like, oh no, it was a big long section, too sleepy. I'm gonna accept the fact that I'm still recovering from being ill and just let myself call it if I need to. We'll see.
Oh, Jala, that smells delicious. I'm sure Shark is very thankful.
I'll be expecting a handwritten thank you note in my mailbox. And don't write it for him. I know your handwriting, Irfan.
I'm telling you, beneath this grouchy face and the smoke-breathing tiger lurks the softest and tenderest of souls.
Sure. Deep down, maybe.
Very, very deep down.
He's a good boy, really.
Do not ignore this test. Report to your auntie. I don't like what I'm hearing. Oh. Okay, we'll play a little longer. I want to... Auntie C is upset at us, and I can't, like, end the game not knowing why our lesbian auntie's upset with us. What did we do?
Yeah. So, I was just minding my business skating, and she said she was better than me. A skate peasant. And that I was obsessed with my brother, who belonged to her. And then she attacked me for no reason.
I don't know if that's exactly how it happened.
That doesn't seem totally accurate.
She's been challenging all the skate punks, including you. The blood of babes, Cece.
Ah, speak of the devil.
As we were saying, she's burned our crops and poisoned our drinking water.
Hi. Are they actually tattling on us?
Jala, have you been fighting these children?
Okay, Auntie, that's not at all a fair representation of the facts. I was trying to engage in a conversation with these wayward youths who are cult members, by the way.
Do your conversations usually involve fists?
Really, Jala?
I thought
I don't know what you're thinking. Picking fights.
I thought the fists, the physical fights were imaginary in the mindscape. I didn't realize she was actually beating them up. I thought all the combat was in the mindscape.
Well, it's too late for you now anyway. By defeating us, you've attracted the attention of the General, Soundy's first follower, the Mama Bear.
You know she'd kill you if she heard you call her that.
Please tell me that this person isn't also a teenager, because for Soundy to be referring to one of the teenagers as Mama Bear is concerning.
It's true. Salma's waiting for you, Jala.
Yes,
She's gonna eat you
I'm
alive.
fucking fascinated by the way they do t-shirt, like fabric textures in this game. Yeah, as is being pointed out by Darwin C in the Twitch chat, you look at Aisha's sleeve, the sleeve moves but the checkerboard doesn't. Like, the checkerboard exists in one position and the sleeve is just moving through the checkerboard texture. There's a lot of textures in the game that are like this, and I'm like, it's a workable solution. It's a fascinating way to deal with texturing a moving piece of fabric. Look, it looks bad if you notice it and pay attention to it. I found it fairly easy to, like, zone out, but I understand the shortcut it is making and the technical thing it is avoiding having to work out how to do. Jane says very Monkey Island, right? It is a very, very it's a very simple shortcut around a weirdly complicated game design situation.
I have other things to do besides adhere to the requests of a man in a sewer-soaked bear costume.
It's a metaphor, you know, for
Ooh.
society.
I've just seen Jane has sent me a thumbnail for AA. Oh, that is a good thumbnail, Jane. I like that a lot. Thank you. That is perfect. Yeah, I can acknowledge. I can't tell you specifics, but I can acknowledge it is the thumbnail for next week's accessibility PlayStation Access Controller review. The thumbnail now exists, ready for that episode.
Yeah, it's like the mascotization of the future, which is actually trash. Typical, you don't get it?
Wait, does he run the skate park or the sewers?
Ekanaut in the Twitch chat, who I'm guessing from context worked on Thirsty Suitors, says, we did that for the Suitors to make them a little off and ended up using it on other characters' screen space textures. Okay, yeah, I'm super curious about this, because my assumption had been it was like, that it was some kind of like shortcut to get around. It is difficult to make the thing like wrap around certain positions. But if it was a deliberate like artistic choice for the Suitors to make them like easier to, because I recognize, yeah, the Suitors are the main place I've seen that happen. It was most notable with the first X and the very patterned shirt. It's a special shader. It's more complicated than the regular texture. Yeah, it's one of those things. As soon as I started talking about it, I was like, no, that's probably not easier than just baking the texture. Yeah, here's the thing. I like it, but I know it's like, there have been some people in the Twitch chat who've gone, what's happening? I don't understand what I'm seeing. And I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing into another dimension, and it's a little trippy. Like, when I've seen it in the Mindscape, like, boss battles, I'm like, yeah, I'm just seeing weird shit because I'm in the Mind Palace. Echo in the Twitch chat says, I've seen that technique used on a couple of other games, usually indie ones, and some animation products by smaller teams, and at first it threw me, but I've grown to like it. Yeah, it's grown on me, but I understand why it initially is like, that's not doing what texture's supposed to do. I can see where the stumbling on it comes. Jane in the Twitch chat says, it's how Stan's suit used to work in Monkey Island. I hadn't put that together, but now you mention it, yeah, that is how Stan's shirt worked, huh? Yeah.
He runs a band of rabid punks who keep stalking me for nefarious yet unclear reasons.
The reason is to save the town, and you are an invasive species.
All right, enough bickering in my shop. Hand over your boards for repairs or shoo.
Yeah, Jala. How about you meet me outside for a sec?
Hey, Jala.
What?
You're being summoned.
What?
You're being summoned. God, are those headphones giving you tinnitus?
By who?
Samdi summons you to the skate park, or whatever.
Why?
Something, Sama. I skimmed. I'm playing Snake.
Okay, so we're gonna go find out who Mama Bear is, I guess.
Jala, you should get to the skate park and see what Salma needs. She's a good girl with a lot going on.
You expect too much.
Yeah. Right, one sec while I send Jane pennies for accessibility editing, and then we're gonna go find out what sound he wants. Gonna jam out to the tune for a sec. Ba, ba, ba. There we go. So that is at least 2 episodes of accessibility you're going to have over the next during the next week. There's going to be a couple back-to-back. There's at least one going up that's either tomorrow or Friday. It's going to go up. It was going to be Friday. It might go up tomorrow now. Okay, let's find out what's up with Soundy. Let's get my phone on charge quickly while we finish this up. There's my Uzbook charger. A USB-C dangling around here somewhere. There we go. That'll do. Apologies everyone for the Windows alert sounds as phone get plugged in. Right. Let's go. Oh. Come on, PC. Yes, I plugged my phone in. Are you done making noises to tell everyone I plugged my phone in?
Darling, good of you to roll through. You're here to face my good general, my self-righteous right hand. Ah, well, Selma has been instrumental to Barefoot. Family bickers, but we love our cubs dearly. When she first caught my eye, she was struggling, trying to set up a community fridge while her own fridge remained barren.
Yeah, like, you shouldn't be using the phrase, like, caught my eye when talking about, like, vulnerable teenagers that you've brought into your little enclave. You were trying to do a good thing for your community while in a vulnerable position yourself. Join my little group of teenagers I'm collecting.
So sweet, but so misguided. Just needed a push in the right direction. My direction.
Yeah, there was a point at the start of this game where I was like, maybe Soundy's being misunderstood, and actually this is actually a positive little community thing. And the further this has gone on, the more I've gone, Soundy, you are not doing yourself any favors. If you are not a cult leader taking advantage of vulnerable teenagers for your own purposes, you're really not doing a good job of, like, convincing me that's not the case. Fruitalist says teenagers are not Pokemon. You do not gotta catch them all. Exactly.
Just like you. We've done this a few times now. No need to faff about anymore. A bear knows when it's time to stop playing with their food.
Oh, please tell me this isn't one of my exes in the bear suit.
I need you, Jala.
Please don't be one of my exes.
The mayor hasn't spoken to her daughter in years, and she'd do anything to get her back. To get her happy little family back.
Oh, is this... If you convince the mayor not to break down the skate park, I will release the mayor's daughter from my cult. Is that what we're doing? One sec. Oh, Shrouded Wolf, thank you very much for the gift sub. I apologize. I forgot to do the thing where I put my Twitch chat into the little pop-out so I can see some of the notifications that don't show up in the mixed chat in my streaming software. I'm eventually catching up on these. Thank you very much for the gift sub. That's lovely.
Do you understand? Give anything, even the upcoming.
Yeah, you are holding the mayor's daughter hostage in your cult to change the outcome of an election. You are not a good person, Soundy.
No.
Ye olde badger,
No way.
I have tried Cassette Beast. I really like the game. The thing that put me off is it runs really pretty fucking poorly on Switch. Like, it runs in, like, disappointingly poorly on Switch. If I'm gonna play it through seriously, I'm gonna just stop playing it, start over from scratch on Steam Deck. It's one of those games where I was just really disappointed to have spent money on it on Switch and gotten as bad an experience as I did on the Switch version. And And, like, maybe... I held off for a while going, maybe they'll patch the Switch version and improve it. They really didn't. Yeah.
I don't just want the park, Jala. My plans are so much bigger than that. Who better to represent the freaks? The untidy, sharp-edged deviants tossed in the gutter than moi.
So yeah, you're trying to, like, become the mayor by using a cult to make a cult of teenagers, including the mayor's daughter, to make the mayor concede the election.
This town has no future. Building on top of rot.
Well, there's a campaign slogan for you.
I see you. You're a misfit.
Uh.
So am I. And our judges have never truly loved us. For us to thrive,
Look, Soundy, I don't disagree with you, but
no.
Cult in which you kidnap all of the emotionally vulnerable queer teens is not the way to get what you're after.
What rises from the ashes will be fresh.
Oh,
pure.
No, I don't think
Finally,
this
a
is the
place with
sister.
us in mind.
I really hope it's not the sister. I don't think it can be the sister. It could be one of the exes.
Don't speak.
I haven't been met yet,
This
but
moment doesn't belong to
unless
either
this
of
is
us
like
anyway.
the sister, who the sister is marrying is the person in here or
My
something.
general.
Okay. What? Bad vibes from a cult leader? What?
I hear you've been beating on the other skaters. They're mostly teens who just graduated and don't know where to go.
Are you also a teen? I really hope not. Because, as I say, it's really fucking weird that he's calling your mum a bear if you are also a teen. I'm guessing you're slightly older, but you're like, you can't be much older than 20.
Scared of taking on someone your own size?
I don't think an entire cult versus one person are even odds.
Dia's my roommate, Jala. I know how much you actually care about fair play.
We really don't stand a chance against small-town gossip, do we?
Not only did you return to town, but now you're hindering our work in saving it. Soundy says the fight should be a test. I said it was the only choice you gave us.
I keep telling you all, I'm doing this for Tyler. I personally don't care about whatever weird LARP thing you're all getting up to in the woods.
You don't get it. You just can't hear the message. Soundy's message.
I can hear that Soundy is using the language, like, is using very, I'm the only one who can protect you. Society doesn't love you, but I love you. Therefore, you'll never be accepted in society unless you live in my weird cult. I'm hearing him say all the things that... I'm watching him isolate you from your loved ones and your support systems and talk about you like you're his possessions. And, like, the ideals, in theory, on paper, as bullet points are fine, but he's clearly using them to, like, have some degree of ownership over you, and that's bad.
I noticed, though, that people with loving homes are the most willing to throw theirs away. They don't know what they have, can't appreciate it. And you, Jala, you had an abundance of love. Dia told me you kept looking for more and more, tossing out what was left behind as scraps.
It's not even close to that simple with my family or my exes. At home, it felt like I was being smothered. And in my relationships, I was chasing something because I always felt alone. The initial rush would fade and...
But you weren't alone. Not truly alone, with nowhere to live and no one to turn to. I left home when I was 16 and got my first job. My parents didn't ask about me once. I came to Timber Hills and didn't know a soul.
Yes, this makes you the prime candidate for a fucking cult to latch onto.
But I have people now, so I fight for my life here. Before Soundy, these kids had nobody to fight for.
Cult leaders love to find someone who's got absolutely no one and go, hey, I'll give you someone, I'll support you, and therefore you feel indebted and can never leave.
When we talk about the Barefoot Code and protecting the soul of Timber Hills, it's us. We're the soul of Timber Hills. The youth who want to build our lives here.
I don't disagree with that. Just don't do it under the weird cult bear.
Soundy understands that. The mayor doesn't. If you're not with us, you're against us too. Soundy thought better of you. And until now, I've been too patient. It's time I make him see how wrong he was about you.
Okay. What if we do... Raging Taunt's probably gonna work on you.
You really believe Soundy's promises? Are you naive? Or just bad at critical thinking?
You lost the right to say that when you up and left. You have no stake in our future.
Okay. I can do Rage Side A. Yeah, called it.
Soundy gave me a promise. He would protect me, my friends, our town. Now, his obsession with you threatens everything we work for.
Don't you see what's happening? You're being manipulated. Soundy is using your passion and the youth of this town to form his personal army.
I wouldn't let that happen. I know better.
That's a dangerous way of thinking.
Yep, being convinced that you are immune to brainwashing is a great way to get brainwashed. To be convinced that, like, oh, those manipulation tactics, those, like, ways of cults isolating people and brainwashing them, they would never work on me. Yeah. Yeah, if you think you're immune to propaganda, you are just not looking out for your susceptibility enough.
Selma, you're in it. And I'm looking at you and telling you what I see from the outside. The truth is, Soundy's holding you all back. You'd lead those teams better than he can.
Me? I couldn't. Soundy may have shortcomings, but enough! You're trying to throw me off, huh? Divide and conquer? I don't think so. I'm channeling every ounce of the Barefoot Code, and I will put an end to your descent, Jala.
Yeah, we're getting through to her. Yeah, let's take advantage of the fact that Rage is still alive and get as much damage in as we can while we get that bonus.
This fight is cutting into my free time.
Yeah, I'm really not going to worry about Skate Punk Wind until the Rage effect is done. Jane in the Twitch chat says, this is making me wish the weather was nicer so I could go back to practicing rope dart. Yeah, it's been a weirdly... It's not been a lot of, like, nice, warm, sunny, good weather this year. We need some of that so you can do all your outside twirly things in the grass where you twirl your various implements.
It's super embarrassing how many of your exes are from middle school. Imagine making lifelong romantic enemies when you're still getting crayons with your menu.
I mean, that is probably the time you're most likely to make romantic enemies. You're a fucking idiot at that age. You're gonna make some real dumb decisions when trying to do romance. I'd be more concerned if you had lots of romantic enemies from, like, later in life, because that means you were growing up and maturing and still fucking people up. You ideally, if you're gonna have fucked up bad relationships in your past, you want them to be ones where you can go, look, I was a shitty fucked up teen, I apologize. In hindsight, I was a fucking stupid teen that made some bad moves. Okay, so we've got to work out what the other successful taunt's gonna be. Heartless Taunt, I think, is gonna work on Salma.
After After learning more about you, I can see why you joined a cult. You were an easy mark.
Yeah, called it. See, I've said this before. The first game I think of when I think of like turn-based RPGs trying to do combat, like having conversations as a gameplay mechanic, is Shin Megami Tensei, which that series has always felt very, at least in English, like the prompt you need to do to get the correct response out of an enemy feels like fucking throwing darts at a dartboard. There is no logic to it. Whereas here, based on having had the conversations with Salma, I've guessed correctly which 2 out of 5 emotional taunts will work on her, because she's written well in a way where I can go, yeah, these 2 emotional tactics are the ones that are going to effectively get to you because of the insecurities you've shown in the conversations we've had. It feels really natural to find those effective taunts because the characters are well written to signify up front this is the kind of person you're trying to get through to. That is a credit to the game's writing.
I was gonna say ma'am. Of course. Selma, ma'am.
Jane says way more manageable than LA Noire. 1000%. Like, yeah, here it's a case of, she, like, the reason I knew the Heartbreak taunt was gonna work is she's so self-confident that she can't be brainwashed. You just have to go, you're being, everything you've just said is why you're the perfect fucking mark for a cult. And it's like, yep, nope, yeah, that is, she made her weakness clear and you got it. Shrouded Wolf says, I'm very curious how well I'll pick up on that, considering how I usually don't pick up on social cues and the like. I usually don't pick up on social cues well either, but I think it helps that you can process of elimination it a bit, because, like, we'll have a look at the list here. Thirsty Taunt, you can usually rule out, like, you can totally rule out Thirsty Taunt because of the context. Like, here, we're in the skate park dealing with the teen cult. Like, the Thirsty Taunt is basically exclusively for your exes of the same age as you. So we're like, okay, cool, I'm now looking for 2 out of these 4. And when you're basically, like, whittling it down like that, you can go, she's really angry at me, Raging Taunt's probably gonna work. She's not if she's underestimating me, Shocking Taunt's probably gonna work. If she really looks up to me and is trying to fight that, Impressive Taunt works. But otherwise it's like, are you angry? Or are you, like, upset? And, like, I can whittle down emotions into those 5 categories and process of elimination it okay. I've not had as much difficulty as I expected. And again, I think that's a credit to this game that it is this manageable to work that stuff out. Okay, so we gotta take out you. Yes, I only have to work out what category of emotion. And if you get it wrong, it's not the end of the world. You used 1 turn in combat ineffectively. It's not like you are, like, punished in any significant way for getting that wrong.
I was gonna say ma'am.
Yeah, Terra, I've always heard that the Shin Megami Tensei conversation system makes more sense in Japanese. Doesn't change the fact that playing in English, it's never fucking made sense. Okay. Yeah, this battle and its fallout is probably going to be, like, about the last of what we do tonight of this, and we'll come back to this on Friday's stream. Okay, I've got more willpower now, so I can do a big special to finish this off. You can do... Yeah, do Mighty Dunk again.
Even though my belief was pure, after all my efforts, but I never win.
Helping someone establish a mascot-based cult might not have been the best method of community organizing.
Yeah, your desire to set up, like, a community kitchen is great, don't do it as part of this weird adult furry skate cult.
I'm sure Dia would be thrilled if you gave this up.
Just because I lost this fight doesn't mean I'm giving up. The mayor cannot sell this land out from under us.
Yeah, and I agree with that sentiment.
Maybe one of the first lessons I ever learned was no gods, no masters.
No gods, no masters, including your weird cult leader, Bear.
I might have lost sight of that lately.
Guess bears might need to be added to that list, huh?
SMT5, I still really struggled with the conversation system. It's one of the things about that series that really puts me off. It's one of the things that I just do not gel well with. Okay, I think we did okay with her. I think we might have successfully done a deprogramming. Okay, so we're gonna go chat with Tyler. And hopefully Tyler is happy with how that turned out. Right. Tyler, did I do good?
I know you tried to get through to Salma. She hasn't had the easiest of times. Not everyone's lucky enough to have a supportive family. You've done all you can. I guess we'll see how things shake out in the next couple of days. Forget it. I get that you're distracted right now. Aruni's been blowing up my phone. It's like I'm reliving all the worst fights of your teenage years. You're both being ridiculous.
Wait, Jala, let me handle this, okay? Does it make you happy that Aruni won't even talk to us? It makes your grudge look reasonable in comparison.
Wow, you really are trying to pick a fight today. You left us behind, Jala. Are you really surprised that we're wary of letting you back in?
How exactly are we supposed to fix anything if we can't even have a conversation?
How is pushing her when she's not ready helping anything?
Fine. I don't care if she never speaks to us again.
So that's what you're really afraid of? That this rupture will be permanent? She's not avoiding you to punish you, she's protecting herself.
Damn, say it, Tyler. So Echo, the impression that I get is that the inner monologue is an inner monologue. The difference is Tyler just fucking knows us. And that inner monologue kind of slips out when around Tyler because Tyler is the ex. This is that person who can, like, even if you don't say it, they know what's going through your head. And I think that this is just, it's that one person that those quiet little inner thoughts just kind of slip out around. I think that's the deal.
Think about it from her perspective. How is she supposed to believe you won't hurt her like that again? Give her time, Jala.
Jelly beans, it's me. You ready to blow this joint yet? Meet me at the general store. I've got a hoard of that candy you like. You know you want to taste. Oh, this is gonna be a real fucking trashy ex, isn't it? Oh, no, yeah, no. Tyler is the big X. Tyler is the X. We are waiting for Jala's sister to show up. The conversation with Tyler there was about, hey, I want to talk to my sister and apologize, and the sister's like, I don't fucking want to talk to you. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna head back home, and we're gonna call the stream here. But we will find out about that skeevy weirdo X on Friday's stream. I hope you've all enjoyed. I'm having a real good time streaming this. This has been a real fun game to stream. As I said earlier, Gender Euphoria, the audiobook, it's available now wherever audiobooks are sold. Go listen to 8 hours of positive stories from trans people and stuff. Also, listen to tomorrow's Podquisition, because I go into some depth talking about a game called In Stars and Time that I don't think it would be a good fit for stream necessarily, but after 30 Thirsty Suitors, I might do at least one stream of it. it feels real fucking special. I go into like 15 minutes of depth talking about it on Podquisition tomorrow, and this is a situation where I'm like, please go listen to me talk about that game at length, because it's pretty fucking interesting. It is, it feels like it might be something special. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope those of you who got Codes for Gender Euphoria enjoy listening to the audiobook. I hope those of you who have picked up a copy enjoy listening to it. Thank you very much, everyone. I will be back Friday, 10 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Beyond that, I'm just having a look at stuff for future stream schedule. There's gonna be an accessibility episode up probably tomorrow. Maybe a little additional one Friday, ? Another one early next week. There's a whole bunch of accessibility stuff coming real soon. Look forward to that. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Goodbye.